2000 as Reese, Angelo and Mile Herbert to a Jamaican mother and a Barbadian father. His heritage is something that he would touch on when speaking to Armani on his Members Only Network channel in 2022, saying that he identifies much more with his Jamaican roots.
Country?
Yeah.
Jamaica.
Full Jamaican?
No.
Oh, what's the other?
I just sound Jamaican, innit?
What's the other part?
Barbados.
Okay, like Hunch and that. Like they're half Bayesian and that, but they don't claim it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, man.
So you're just claiming your yard man thing?
Just a Jamaica thing stuff.
Say.
You see, unlike Central C, who claimed his Jamaican influences that came from Summer's whining at the Notting Hill Carnival, Digga D is really a Jamaican yardman who is proud of his authentic roots. Raised by his mother, interestingly, Digga would end up moving from place to place in what was essentially a childhood tour of notorious gang blocks, before settling on the area that he would claim as his own. His troublesome childhood saw him relocating multiple times, starting in Paddington, moving to Harrow Road, then to South Kilburn, and finally settling in Ladbroke Grove, a place that would shape his formative years. Ladbroke Grove being the same place that Central C was born before moving to nearby Shepherd's Bush. Ladbroke Grove is located in the Kensington and Chelsea borough and has long been considered one of London's wealthiest boroughs, with its economy ranking at the top 10% in the country according to the 2021 UK Prosperity Index. However, these figures mask the troubling reality of life for many residents in the borough, because while the royal borough of Kensington and Chelsea is known for its affluence and wealth among the city's elite, the reality for many residents is a completely different story, with a staggering 1 in 5 Kensington and Chelsea neighbourhoods with staggering inequality and deprivation amongst the vast wealth. This harsh reality and difference between the haves and have-nots in the area is something that fellow Ladbroke Grove rapper AJ Tracy would break down in a 2021 interview with the YouTube channel Hip Hop Raise Me.
But it's quite the contrary. Actually, what we have is an area where we're living in estates and flats in which that sometimes we don't even have enough to pay the electricity bill, and right across the road there's a family where the youngest daughter, who's 9 years old, has a Rolex on. You know what I'm saying? This is the environment that we live in, and for some people it turns them mad because they're thinking, why am I in this situation? Why has God put me here in this situation? I have to see my mum struggle, but those people across the road have Rolexes, they burn money for fun.
The inequality in the area was stark,
over there.
Digga D was certainly on the rough side of that imbalance, spending his early years being raised in a council flat by his mother. But throughout all the moving, he would always attend school in Ladbroke Grove. In a 2022 interview with Cracked magazine, Digga shared his lifelong passion for music, showing family videos that depicted him at just 3 years old, already vibing to music with a close connection to his culture like Jamaican bashment and dancehall artists like Vybz Kartel, as well as reggae and even American rappers like 50 Cent. When he spoke to Armani, he would actually cite his UK-born Jamaican mother and her family as being an early cultural and musical influence on him.
Did you have like a Jamaican influence growing up? Like, because I feel like in your music and the way you talk and that, bit of yard talk and that.
Yeah, my family, innit?
Yeah.
Grew up with my mum, innit? My mum's side.
Yeah.
All Jamaican.
Okay. Was she born here or in Jamaica?
Yeah, here.
Okay.
Digga would attend the St. Thomas Primary School on Appleford Road in Ladbroke Grove, where he met personal friend and notable 1011 CGM member M Scum. As his interest in music grew, in 2009, he would even rap on stage in a battle rap at the Royal Albert Hall when he was just 9 years old. Digga's family would later move to 3rd Avenue in Queen's Park on the Mozart estate, home to the Harrow Road Boys gang and his future enemy, Fredo. But despite living there, Digga would maintain loyalty to the area that he was going to school in Ladbroke Grove. He would speak on this on the intro track of his 2022 album Naughty by Nature, explaining that he lived across from Fredo and how he didn't respect Fredo's gang, the Harrow Road Boys, and he instead looked up to their ops, SSK from South Kilburn. On the same track, Digga recalled how he and the now deceased HRB member Stutz, aka Wu, used to be friends during their school years, often playing football together. However, due to him joining 1011 or CGM and Stutz joining the Harrow Road Boys, they would later become enemies to the point where Digga would rap that he would be planning to kill him on sight, and later dissing Wu extensively after his unsolved murder. He would also reveal on the same track that at the young age of just 11,
that's reality for most people, because you grow up going to school with people. Hold on, let me see something. What's going on? You tagged me, man. What the hell going on, man? But it's crazy, like, you'll grow up going to school with people and then shit just be, man. You would end up into it with somebody and it's like you used to love him like a brother. Now you got it. When you see him, it's on sight. It's really brazen.
moving packs, and by the time he was moving in with his grandmother at 11 or 12 years old, he would move in with a decent amount of tree and even some digital scales to his name, selling amnesia out of his grandmother's house and sneaking in girls late at night. He would also explain the moment when tragedy struck, when his grandmother was diagnosed with cancer when he was just around 11 years old, eventually passing away. Shortly after this, he would have to move back in with his mother. In the summer of 2011, Digga's days would begin by taking the 328 bus to Grove and going to the Harrow Youth Club after school, where he would meet and spend time with his two closest friends, notable 1011 CGM members, brothers Sav O, aka J Sav, and Horrid One, aka Huncho. Digga and his friends would later become part of the Ladbroke Grove gang turned drill group 1011, which eventually reformed as rap group CGM. But before then, they would record music together at the Harrow Club, which happened to have an old recording studio in there. However, when they were outside of the studio, this group would be up to no good, committing petty crimes together like stealing bikes and assaulting anyone who tried to stop them, meaning that by the time he had joined Chelsea Academy in 2012 at just 12 years old, Digga D had been drug dealing and navigating the streets for more than a year. Chelsea Academy being the same school that Central C, a few years his senior, was attending at the time. However, it didn't take long for this lifestyle to catch up with a young Digga, and in 2013, when he was 13, he was caught with flour at school, leading to his arrest and expulsion, something that he would even talk about in a 2020 BBC Three documentary, Defending Digga D, where he explained that the police actually came to his school and arrested him there.
Secondary school now was a bit mad. At the start of year 8, I got kicked out. I got caught with weed, and they called the police. And I got arrested in school. And they took me to Wandsworth police station. My mum came in the police station, and I wasn't trying to look at her.
After this, he would continue having trouble with the law, ending up not taking his GCSE exams and fully dropping out of school in 2014 when he was 14. After that, he would spend all of his time gangbanging with his friends in Ladbroke Grove, with Digga apparently commonly being seen hanging around Portobello Court with his friends and affiliates that would later form the gangs 1011 and CGM. This is something that's actually on record thanks to a walkthrough of the area done by YouTube channel Tea and Crumpets, a video that would even showcase recognizable places from their Play for the Pagans music video that dropped years later. But before the formation of CGM, around 2014, Digga D and other Ladbroke Grove gang members would come together to form a crew called 916. This alliance called 916 was very active both in the streets and in the music, especially around 2014 and 15, with the leader at the time being Johnny 5, who would also be the main artist of the group. And so, it would be while being part of 916 that Digga D would release his first ever songs. On October the 28th, 2015, at the age of just 15, Digga D released his first song titled RNS. Let's call it real N-word stuff. Rapping over a dark, ethereal trap beat, RNS was an extremely early example of a UK drill song despite its basic production. It would showcase Digga's uncanny ability to paint vivid pictures of his rough experiences in the streets as a just 15-year-old gangster through his music. The song begins with Digga on the hook giving step-by-step instructions on how his trap operates, starting with a phone call followed by a delivery of packs in a stolen vehicle. He described being in the trap and being surrounded by fiends and dope, and painting a detailed picture of a foul-smelling trap that he has to endure to keep on stacking paper, and saying money is the only thing that he loves, and that he's never lacking, always carrying his Rambo knife.
Dude's
in his
thinking
second
trap.
song, Trap House, which was actually released on the same day and covered similar topics to the first song, interestingly, the cover art saw Digga D with a blue bandana covering his face, as the 1011 gang, later known as CGM, would actually identify as Crips and regularly wear blue. On this song, Digga went further than the trap talk and rapped openly about committing violence, claiming to regularly stab his ops with his flick knife and rapping numerous bars describing committing shootings with a shotgun. Digga's third and final release of the year was the track Jumping, released on November the 1st, 2015. It featured Digga rapping about trapping, stabbing, and shooting over a bass-heavy piano-backed trap beat. And while still not perfect, he had made some progress in improving both the production and his rapping from his previous releases. He would talk about selling Class A drugs until 4 in the morning, mention that he's stolen an alarming amount of cars and mopeds, and he'd shout out his gang, at the time named 916, and saying that he would murder for his guys, even expressing his preference for using a shank at the age of 15 because his ops were taller than him then. All in all, the music was full of hard-hitting lyrics, and if you weren't familiar with the UK drill culture, you'd have been shocked to learn that there were 15-year-olds running around West London shooting and stabbing people. And in 2015, this is the very early days of UK drill, when a lot of people probably couldn't have even imagined real criminals shooting and stabbing in the streets of London would then actually get on the microphone and admit their crimes openly on songs. But that's what Digga was doing, and he didn't know it yet, but he was about to be a big part of a new cultural movement that was about to sweep the city of London and change everything, with Digga D being in prime position to become one of the most realist and most dangerous rappers to come out of the UK drill scene. Already affiliated with a gang, Digga D seemed to get heavily involved in the violent side of London gang activity. Supporting the boss of the crew, we would even catch glimpses of him in Johnny 5's Ain't Scared music video with Digga wearing his favourite Gucci scarf and hat. From here, Digga D would only get deeper and deeper into the gang lifestyle, and rapping about it as he went along for the whole world to hear. But the difference between Central C and Digga D was that Digga was really living the most extreme gangster lifestyle. Central C, on the other hand, might have been dabbling as a dealer to make a bit of money on the side, but he couldn't authentically get on the mic and rap about the streets with any kind of authority. But that didn't stop him from eventually trying, because at the end of the day, unlike Digga D, Central C wanted to be a rapper more than he wanted to be a gangster. So while Digga D was in Ladbroke Grove, terrorizing...
I don't really know too much about Central C, so I ain't finna say what he is or what he ain't, if he really with the streets or if he not. But I know when I'm hearing about Digga D, that nigga crazy. Anybody that's grown up in West London West London, Gerard. That's not even a damn right accent. Oh my god. But if you going up to West London, you out here shanking and hitting people with a shotgun. I can only imagine you a violent ass young man. You stabbing people at 15, yeah, you're violent. It takes a lot more violence to stab somebody than shoot somebody. Shoot somebody is easy. You know what I'm saying? After the fact, it's like, okay, oh, I did that. Stabbing somebody, oh, that's all authentic.